Hey, so let's talk about what probate in Louisiana costs typically. By the way, I'm talking to you here from New Roads, Louisiana. Um, what probate costs in Louisiana? Another tough question because it can really vary. See, Louisiana is one of these, at least as far as the attorney fees go, Louisiana is one of these reasonable fee states where other states it's fixed, you know what the costs are. The costs can be really expensive, but at least you know. In a lot of other states, you add up the value of what somebody owned when they died, their home and their bank accounts and their investments and everything else, and you apply these percentages that go to non-family members. So the courts get a percentage, the executor gets a percentage, the attorney gets a percentage, and so maybe 5, 6, 8, 10, 15, whatever percent kind of off the top going to non-family members, including attorneys. But in Louisiana, we have this, I think it's a vague reasonableness statute for attorney's fees, and so it's all over the map. And as a result of that, some families often get taken advantage of or pushed around because they don't go through this very often. But there are some costs that are associated with every probate in Louisiana. So the ones that are involved in every succession or probate include, of course, attorney's fees. You have to have an attorney to do all the paperwork. There's always going to be filing fees at the clerk of court. There's always going to be, or typically going to be, recording fees in the real estate records when real estate gets transferred to heirs. And then, in addition, there's other fees that aren't incurred every time, but they are incurred many times. Things like accounting fees to prepare all of the accountings, and of course, final income tax returns need to be prepared. Sometimes families have to pay insurance companies for bonding fees and bonding costs. Sometimes appraisals of property or other assets are necessary, so now the family and the estate is incurring appraisal costs. So back to the attorney's fees, there's just no standard for it. In fact, you could talk to 5 different lawyers, get 5 different answers. Some attorneys will say, well, I tell you what, I'll charge you by the hour. So every time we talk on the phone, every time I send an email, every time I prepare a document, every time I answer a question, you're going to be on the clock, and so I'm going to charge you for my time. People don't like that because, unbeknownst to them, hours and hours and hours are being accumulated, and you feel guilty every time you make a phone call or send an email because it's just going to add additional legal expense to your bill. Other attorneys will say, you know what, I'll just charge you a percentage of the estate like it's required in other states. 3%, 4%, you do the math. And then others will charge you, say, a fixed fee, and they'll say, I'll take care of this matter for you, and it'll be X dollars. So that's another way that it's done. But when any matters are contested or litigated, all that's off the map because that stuff can go on for years. So, probate can't give you an answer on what it costs because it just varies all over the map, from town to town, from attorney to attorney, from matter to matter. But I can tell you it's always at least a 4-figure matter in the thousands of dollars. In many cases, it's a 5-figure expense, tens of thousands of dollars. And then in some cases, it can be as much as a 6-figure expense in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So there are ways to avoid all that. People who typically like to plan ahead and save their family a lot of money on the back end will plan ahead to avoid all that difficulty. So 2 cents about probate costs. If you want to figure out how to avoid it, or if you have a family and you're involved in one and everybody's on board and you want to figure out the easiest way to get it done, may want to give us a shout at 866-491-3884. I'm Paul Rabelais coming to you from New Roads. Have a great day.